Previously, on Taverns and Caverns Path A, we ventured deeper into the research facility to investigate why communication was cut between Iman Vanellis and the researchers. My first impressions of this place was not all so great. There was not a soul in sight. It was like a ghost town beneath the surface, and as we looked around the area, we came across a withered tree that housed creatures that I've never seen before in my life. Not even anything like the Yaksha. And from within the tree, there were eggs that hatched, and we were ambushed by creatures that the party called the Spirylith. These horrific creatures had two different forms, one called the Mind Piercer, and the other a Mind Reaver. And from what Thaddeus and the others have mentioned, these Spirylith have different stages that they grow into, a form of metamorphosis, and we've yet to come across the third stage. I do not wish to come across this one. Om Nikami, please watch over us as we investigate the rest of the facility. Episode 29, An Evil Like No Other, Part 2, Path A.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Taverns and Caverns, everyone. This is your Dungeon Master, HaphazardDM. And last time on Taverns and Caverns Path A, the party had infiltrated the research facility in order to find out why communications have been cut off from the facility back to the Adventurers Guild with Iman Vanellis. Upon investigating the facility, they had found that it was completely empty of life. There weren't any guards at the entrance of the facility, nor were there any guards or researchers in the main hallway, in the main lobby of the facility. And while searching the underground facility, the party eventually came across a crate that had some odd-like eggs in them, spikes protruding from the shell, as well as a couple of eggs inside of a dead-like tree that Isundra was investigating. And while they were investigating these eggs, they began to hatch. And those eggs soon released what is called a Mind Piercer, which is a starfish-like abomination that has spikes all over its tendrils with a mouth on its underbelly. And after the eggs had hatched, medium-sized humanoid aberrations began clawing their way out from under the ground, from where the reservoir of water was located, and they joined in on the battle against the party. Eventually, the party was able to defeat these creatures known as the Spirylith. And key reminder that back in season 1, Isundra, when she was introduced, she had written into her backstory that her parents were killed by a mind flare inside of a cave while she ran away. And because we're not using mind flares in Taverns and Caverns, they've been replaced with a Spirylith. That is what caused Isundra to go into a bit of a fear mode last session after spotting some of these Spirylith. And we'll be starting this session right after that battle. So as you have destroyed the last Spirylith in the room goes fairly silent, other than the running water in the stream below. You can still hear the water, running through underground, and the heavy panting and breathing of the other party members. What are you all doing at this current point after you have slain the Spirylith?
I don't know that's because it's not the same version that killed my parents, right? So I don't know.
No, so the one that killed your version is the third and final stage of the Spirylith. So how I've described this monster is they go through a 3-phase metamorphosis. So stage 1 is where they hatch from the eggs, which is the starfish-like creature, which is technically a tiny creature, or I say a small. The Mind Reaver is the second phase after the starfish or the Mind Piercer attaches itself to the body of a host, and it ends up taking over the host's brain, which then infuses its own DNA into the host, which begins the transformation into the second phase, which is the Mind Reaver. And then after time has gone by, a Mind Reaver has the potential to go through a third metamorphosis stage, which it encompasses itself into a cocoon, And after time goes by, that cocoon hatches, and a third creature known as the Cerevoid, which is a large-sized aberration, is born. And the Cerevoids, unlike the Mind Piercers and Mind Reavers, which are more like the worker bees, the Cerevoids are the intellectual commanders and more deadly leaders of the Spirylith. And just like the Mind Flayers, the Spirylith have the ability to use telekinesis. So they're basically the Taverns and Caverns take on Mind Flayers. So Cerevoid is what killed Isundra's parents. Yeah. So that's looked way different. Well, not way different, but it was definitely much different than the two things you just fought. You would know the difference for sure.
Okay.
Are there any dead ones left?
Oh yeah, I just removed them from the map, but yeah, their bodies are still scattered all over. Just
Alright.
yeah, just imagine their bodies are scattered
I'm-
all through the walkway.
I'm disgusted, but I do want to investigate one of them or just take
Okay.
a better look at them.
All right, you do a 14 investigation. Are you looking at the starfish ones or the humanoid ones with the tentacles coming out of their heads?
Yeah, the humanoid ones.
All right, so you got to look at the Mind Reaver. That's
I'm
closest to
poking it
you.
with my javelin.
As you're poking it, the corpse of the Mind Reaver, it lies there silently, unmoving. And again, as I described, they have these claws that have transformed from their hands. You can tell that the Mind Reaver has the shape of a humanoid. Your assumption is it most likely once was a person at some point, just the way it looks. But where they look vastly different is their skin has begun melting off, and the flesh has turned into this dark gray like color. And throughout the body, you can see portions of the body where the skin is completely gone, and it's just a muscle underneath. And within the muscles around the body, there are these hexagonal like holes just covering parts of the chest, the arms, and parts of the legs. And if you remember, this creature was able to spawn the eggs out of these holes on its
Right.
body. And on the face, its upper half of its face has been covered, so you can't see eyes any longer. But that starfish-like creature that you killed, the face and head look like as if that starfish attached itself to this person's face, kind of like a face hugger from Aliens, except it attached itself at the top of the skull, where the underbelly of the mouth of that starfish would be able to eat its way into the skull. And then there are tentacles or tendrils kind of flaring out from the top of the head that kind of resemble like if at its hair, which would be the tendrils of that starfish. So you can see the bottom half of the face is just this grinning smile with the flesh peeling away from its mouth, so you can only see the under muscles under that flesh. And it just lies there smiling up at you. It's doesn't do anything, but it's bleeding out this
So
this
I guess
thick
what I
ichor.
want, gross. So what I want to know is like the holes that the eggs came out of. Just want to make sure there's no more eggs in there, you know.
So you like
Poke my
poking it?
javelin in that hole.
So as you poke your javelin in these holes, so these holes will expand and shrink depending on, what's going on within the body. But as you poke into one of the holes, your javelin begins to expand that hole, and it just releases this disgusting dark green like liquid, and you don't see any eggs within it coming out, at least not at this moment.
Seems like it only can have its babies if it's living, hopefully. Or maybe that's all it got the chance to store.
And if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was Thaddeus or Alaric or a couple of you that made decent history checks to know what the Spirylith were. I think it might have been Thaddeus, maybe
Yeah.
Alaric
I thought it
too.
was me that I.
Okay, so I know a couple of you
That
do
is
know
it too, yeah.
what the Spirylith are. So Damien, if I remember, you don't know actually, if I remember, but just keep that in mind that a couple of you do know what they are.
Thaddeus will talk to Yaito.
Yeah, I wrote a 6.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
I know Alaric wrote a 24. I had to scroll all the way up. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. This shit is just trifling to me, and I'm fascinated.
You're just disgusted.
This is definitely going in my memoir.
You got a story to tell your kids and wife.
Yep.
So what's Thaddeus asking,
Yeah.
Yaito?
Yaito, burn the bodies, please.
Yaito looks at you, Thaddeus, and he just nods. Understood, but is there a reason? Are they going to get back up?
Hold on. What about the small ones? Investigate those too. I'm just curious because we were sent here by Iman Vanellis. I just want to make sure I've at least tried to investigate so I have something to tell his ass.
That's true.
It's not like he was brave enough to see for himself. So I want to investigate the small one
Damn.
too. Should that be?
Wow.
I don't know if that'll be a separate role or not. Same investigation
Are you investigating you said the starfish one?
with the teeth. Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and make another one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
A 23. You go and look at one of the dead mind piercers. That starfish is on its back, so its underbelly is pointing up at you, and you can see the small mouth with the human-like teeth that are in it. It is slightly open, but grinning, just like the mind Reavers was. The starfish's tendrils are slightly twitching, but it doesn't try to jump up at you. It's a very slight twitch. Perhaps the muscles in it are still giving way after it was killed, but it doesn't seem to be of danger at this current moment. There is blood, ichor leaking out of it. So you, with a 23 investigation, your best guess is it is dead. It's just twitching still.
I feel like we should take this and show him.
You want to take it back with us?
I mean, I don't want to, but you think he's really gonna believe us? Because the best way I'm gonna describe it is it was a blob and it had teeth like us, and that's all I have,
Damien wants to have his own Pokemon.
No, I don't want to be the one to carry it, but I do want to be able to have, a case study. What if this is not the last we see of these things?
I love the fact that Damien responds to the dungeon master. So like I'm just imagining like this story and there's just a voice above its mind, just Damien answering.
Yeah.
Right, Damien answers the narrator. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I it's fine. I think it's hilarious.
Thaddeus has a scrying stone, right? Or whatever.
Yes, yes.
But it's not visual, right? It's just
No, it's just like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, ask him if we can come home. Or if we gotta go further.
We're done.
Right. We have to go further.
I have a plan, but first we need to burn all these bodies now.
Yeah, it was okay. Oh, I understand. I will start burning bodies. All of even the starfish-looking ones. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yatari, would you be able to help me? I know you know fire magic as well. Yes. Yatari is just shaking her head. Yeah. Let's definitely burn these things. I don't trust them at all. I don't remember if Yatari made a history check on these. So I don't remember if she knows what these are, but she will aid Yaito as they begin to walk around the room. And you can see they're casting their cantrips, fire bolts, as they begin to burn many of the bodies. They still leave the one mind piercer for you, Damien, if you decide to take it, though. That'll be a discussion you and Thaddeus can have.
I mean, I don't got a clear nut with Thaddeus. He ain't my daddy, so I'm just going to stab it onto my javelin and just skewer it down. And then, it can be on that, but on my back, but not touching me,
Damien, burn
What?
that, please.
I don't know,
It's
man.
dangerous to take to the city.
Yeah. That's how plagues start. You guys are right. I'm I'm freaked out. I mean, we can't really describe the victims here of the bigger ones as he's starting to just pull this thing off the javelin, throw it back on the ground. So who knows if these, I'm sure these were the scientists or the people that were experimenting that he lost contact with, I'm assuming. But we have no proof unless we continue to go forward. Ask him first. I don't want to go any further than I have to into this.
I'm about to contact Vanellis. Give me a moment. And he will use that scribing stone.
Okay. So as you take out that stone with your hand, it begins to glow blue, and that's when you know that the communication has begun and you are free to speak.
Vanellis, we before I talking, so we do know the name of these creatures, right? As far as with the history check.
Yeah, you since
okay.
you rolled a good history, so yeah, you would know.
Okay.
You've studied these creatures at some point.
Okay. Vanellis, we come across Spirylith.
And Damien in the back. And they nasty too.
So as you speak into the scrying, then a couple of seconds go by, and you do then hear the voice on the other side of it. This is Emon Vanellis. Come again? Did you just say Spirylith?
That is correct.
In the research facility or outside of it?
Inside.
You hear this deep, heavy sigh, as if he was shocked and also worried about the situation. Another few seconds go by. Are you all right?
Yes, the bodies have been taken care of, burned.
I'm emotionally scarred, but I'm okay.
And what of the people at the research facility? Are they all dead?
I'm afraid so. We have not searched deep in the facility, but what we've come across, we have not found any signs of life.
This is of utmost importance, that is. You know of the Spirylith. You've studied them, yes?
Correct.
They are an extreme danger to all living creatures in Tirister. This is going to be... Listen to me. I'm going to have to inform the Adventurers Guild and even perhaps the king himself of Londe of what has transpired there. I'll be sending... No, better yet, I'll be joining the cavalry. And we are going to be making sure none of the Spirylith escape that facility. Do you understand? Now, I don't need all of you trying to be heroes. When there's one Spirylith, there are many more. How many did you kill? In which stages did you encounter?
I'm trying to remember. Was
Mind Piercer and Mind Reavers.
Yeah,
so there was about 3, I believe, Mind Reavers, and then at least 8 or so of the Mind Piercers.
Okay. Yeah, he'll tell him the numbers that he found.
And he immediately just lets out another sigh. It sounds like the researchers and the guards there have been taken into the fold of the Spirylith. Listen, have any of the artifacts been damaged? Have you found any of them yet?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
There is one artifact I need you to make sure that it is safe. If it is safe, you must safeguard it at all costs. You understand me? It's in a containment box. You can find it. It's labeled X420T. That takes importance over anything else. Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand.
Your mission is now to find that containment unit, safeguard it, and get the hell out of there until reinforcements arrive.
Should we blast the entrance to try to seal it off temporarily?
If you have the opportunity to, I would do so. As you know, we cannot allow the Sporylith to escape that facility. If they even get a mile away from that area, they can spread like wildfire. You know the Sporylith. They're like bugs. Once you kill one, 5 more pop up. We cannot have those spreading throughout Londade. But I need that relic safe. That is the most important relic we have there in that facility, and it cannot be damaged or worse, used by the Sporylith. Find X420T and then get the hell out of there.
Understood, sir.
You have your orders. We'll be there as soon as we can.
Hold on. Can Damien hear Iman? Or is it that loud? Like speakerphone?
It's not incredibly loud. You have to be somewhat near him.
Oh, I'm down his shoulder. I'm tired of them
Oh,
speakers.
if you're like next to him, then yeah. You can hear if you're next to Thaddeus. But if you're far off burning the bodies with Yaito and Yatara, you're not going to be able to hear it.
No, Damien. Hey, hold up. Don't hang up.
Yes, Damien.
I ain't talking to you. Iman.
What is it, Damien?
What if we can't safeguard it? What if it's too many?
If you cannot find the relic, then escape. But if you find the relic, do everything you can to keep it safe. As I've mentioned, it is the most important relic we have at that research facility.
What's it look like? What is it?
It's in a containment box.
Okay.
Just like many of the other relics. It's about the size of, Thaddeus's core. You can carry it with 2 hands, an arm. It's not that heavy, but the containment box that it's in keeps it safe from harming any of you that pick it up. The containment safe itself is a protection against the relic's powers. This is why we can't allow the Sporylith to obtain that relic. If you come across a Cerevoid, that thing is intellectual. It knows what we know. It can use that relic against us. We cannot let the Sporylith use it. Do you understand?
Yeah. So if we see one of those Cerevoids, should we fight it? Or should we
No.
run? Oh, we should run? We got permission
He
to
said
run.
no.
Cool. You know, I ain't want to look like a punk. I just needed to know everybody was going to run before I abandoned y'all.
Kendo's in the background as Fortunato. Nah, you run, motherfucker.
We. He said, you do what you got to do.
He goes, if a Cerevoid is in your way and stopping you from that containment center, the 6 of you should be able to take one Cerevoid out. But where there is one Cerevoid, there is mostly another. If not another, stages 1 and 2 of the Sporylith are nearby. I believe the 6 of you could take on a Cerevoid, but they are very deadly. They use psionics and telekinesis to fool you. One of their attacks is so swift, you'll never see it coming. Thaddeus has studied the Sporylith, and I'm sure at least one of your other party members know about them. If not, Thaddeus explained to them what a Cerevoid can potentially do. Because if you come across one, I need you to kill it if it's stopping you from getting the containment center or the containment box.
It's like we about to be in his way. Oh, God.
Stop wasting time talking with me and go find X420T now.
All right,
So
man.
I'm done with you.
Right, bye. Damien just pushes it like I don't know, pushes it away. Like, fine. And then he's going to drink a potion.
David's gonna drink a potion.
Damien, wait before you drink that potion.
What?
He will place a hand on Damien. And
Just touching you.
Right.
He's doing a little
What I
touch
tell you
touch.
about this? Right.
hold on.
Gotta ask permission first.
Just do lay on hands.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your paladin level times 5. You're all level 7 right now. So you can heal up to 35 hit points of your choosing.
Oh, wow.
Do
I only need 9 to be full.
okay.
So that
9
leaves, yep, that leaves you 26 more to heal later on. All right, so you heal Damien back up, and as Yaito finishes burning the last body, other than the mind piercer that Damien was holding. So are we going to burn this one too, then? It sounds like, yes?
Please.
Damien, if you will do me the honors, I will burn it. You can hold it up with your javelin. It could be like a skewer.
Sure. You seem
Perhaps
really
we can
excited.
use the burnt mind piercer to scare the other ones away, yes?
I might just piss them off.
Well,
Showing
this
them
is
their
true, too.
barbecue brethren. And then he stabs it and holds it up. Watch my eyebrows.
Yaito holds up a finger as the firebird begins to form, and it shoots from his hand, striking the corpse of the mind piercer, and it begins to burn. And the
Damn.
smell of these corpses that burn are disgusting. It is atrocious.
Ugh.
I have a question. I'm about to post this spell real quick.
Locate object. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen anyone use this spell before. Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Okay. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. The spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path between you and the object.
You're gonna be able to find that object, bro.
Has he seen it before?
He has not.
Yeah, we don't even know what it is, so we just know the keyword for it.
So,
Well, I want to make sure and ask before I cast it.
yeah, so it says spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as it's okay. So he can't. There's a couple of different ways I'm taking it that he can use this spell. He can locate an object that is familiar to him. So he's never seen it up close, but the one that says he has seen it up close has to be within 30 feet, and it has to be something that is known to him. But he can search for an object that's familiar to him and sense it within 1,000 feet. Now he has never seen this object. I would say it's kind of familiar though, because Iman has explained what it looks like, as well as the size and what's written on the containment unit.
But there's
So-
gonna be something between it, even a thin sheet blocks a
Yeah,
direct
that's-
path between you
that's
and the
true.
object, so
That's true. It isn't a containment unit. So depending on where it's at, that could block it. That's true. An object of any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path between you and the object. Okay. So with that last sentence being the case, Thaddeus, I'm going to say no.
Okay. All right.
That was very smart thinking, though.
So I just want to make sure just before I wasted a spell.
Yep.
Feel it.
Okay.
can Isundra I'm scared. Can Isundra go check out this room up here?
What room?
Oh.
Ping. Oh, and there.
Damien see her leaving. We need a buddy system. He follows her.
I will
No
ask
one.
if anyone else needs healing before we go on.
Yaito,
I mean, I'm at 48, but
Yaito looks over at you. He's got half health. If you do not mind, Thaddeus, I could use some healing or two.
Yaito said, "Lay them hands on
Yeah,
me."
he said he just rips open his shirt. Please lay hand, heal me. He's got 23 out of 43 HP.
He'll give him the remainder 26.
Nice.
All right. So Yaito is now full health. Yatari is 27 out of 35. She's okay. As you heal Yaito, he
He got
says,
some low HP.
yeah, they're only level 6.
Oh.
Actually, I think Yatari's only level 5.
Damn, she's a level up.
They're NPCs. They're not
She's a
supposed to.
student.
Yeah, they're.
Well, I don't want her dying.
Facts.
Then we gotta go on another fucking.
I mean, they're not Elroy at least. Elroy, man, he was rocking it with fucking like 8 HP and a
That's
fucking
true.
crossbow, bro. He was like level 1.
He's ride or die though. He
He
said,
was
"No,
ride or
I'm doing
die,
it."
man. No, I mean Yaito is level 6. Oh no, yeah, Yaito's level 6. Yatari's level 5. So like when you first got Yatari, she was like level 3. So she's gained a couple levels, but Yaito's been with you quite a bit. He was a lower level because he's an NPC. I try not to make the NPCs just as strong as you, unless there's a reason for them to be, if not stronger.
Yeah,
Probably-
Rogar came in shitting on us.
Yeah, Rogar was stronger than you guys when you first had him join, but now you're probably caught up to Rogar's level. So-
Nah, we leveled up. He leveled up. We ain't
Yeah,
never
he's
gonna
been out
catch
there
up.
being the strongest. Yeah.
Oh, I am strong.
Rod had on a Rogar hoodie yesterday.
He did.
He was repping.
Oh,
For
I need.
For our audience, yes, we do have a store now for Taverns and Caverns on TeePublic. We have several character designs. You can get shirts, mugs, hoodies, hats, and all that. Well, not all of them have hats, but you can get a bunch of the shirts and goodies with some of our favorite characters from the show, and more to come in the future. Taverns and Caverns, TeePublic. There you go.
Nice plug.
There you go. But yeah, so the NPCs, they're a little underleveled compared to you guys because you're all level 7 right now. So obviously Yaito's 6 and Yatari's 5. So they're not weak by any means. I mean that's pretty strong on like a generic adventurer like session, you know. They're not weak by any means. They're much stronger than any
Yatari is a
normal
college kid.
citizen. Yatari is
Mhm.
college, but she's got experience fighting shit that you guys have fought.
She's
I
a
mean-
scholar.
I mean, at the end of season 1, she was in the thick of it, man. Y'all were fighting a fucking would-be demon lord. So he was transforming into a demon lord. You were fighting some crazy shit. She's gotten some experience. So.
She's our intern.
Yes, she's always gonna be the intern.
Right.
Even when you guys hit
Unpaid
level,
intern.
even when you guys hit level fucking 20 and fucking she's level 16, she still be the intern.
She gets paid in experience.
Yup. But Yaito looks at Thaddeus. Thank you, Thaddeus. I really appreciate this. But they are right. Perhaps we stick very close to one another. Definitely pairs if we need to separate. But I would highly advise we do not separate too far from one another. So
Agreed.
you head up to the room to the north that's past the large dead tree, Isundra. Damien, you went with her, right?
Yep.
All right. So as you cross into the room, there are these 2 stone pillars on either side that have a walk through between them that you're able to pass or walk through. And all around these 2 pillars are stone walls that encompass this room. So it's secluded. And as you enter the room, go ahead and make me some perception checks to kind of see what you find. So Damien with a 15, Isundra with a 19. So as you 2 step into the room, you're looking around, trying to make sure you don't spot any more eggs or dangers, but also looking for relics. This room is filled with different types of treasures, mostly old, ancient relics that are all in their own containment-like boxes. And there's a couple of tables that hold these containments on top of them. There's some crates in the corner, and there is a torch on the wall, magically made, that is just flickering on and off as if a light bulb was about to go off. The room is fairly dark, due to it being encompassed by these walls and being secluded. The only light source is that flickering light. So it is difficult to see, but I think Isundra has dark vision, so that doesn't hurt her too much. But as you're looking at the different relics in the containment boxes, I'm assuming you're looking at to see if you can find the specific one that you're looking for, X420T. And as you're looking through that room, you do not see that specific one. And all of the containment boxes in this room are different sizes depending on the size of the relic inside of them. But that's all you see in this flickering room.
All right. Well, this is terrifying, and I'm not seeing nothing. He kind of grabs her shoulder. Let's go.
Is there anything in here that, like, I mean, I know we're supposed to grab like one specific thing, but like,
right? Anything else of value?
Yeah,
I mean,
should we?
There could be. I mean, they're all anything that's considered a relic is going to be inside one of these containment boxes.
We don't have a bag of holding anymore, though.
I don't know who had the bag of holding.
Eddie
Fucking Eddie.
Ah! That motherfucker took it.
It's got all our shit. Passed out somewhere, sleeping on his computer.
I mean, you can potentially look into these containment boxes, see what kind of relics are in them.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Do like an Arcana check or something. Like, I don't know, something to show me like if something might be
magical,
useful, or yeah, I don't know.
You can make an Arcana check. Let's see what that. 16 Arcana. So, as you try to sense for any magic residue in the room, it is strong. There's a strong aura in this room. Many of these relics in these containment boxes do have magic emanating from them. Now, you can't tell what they do, but about 80% of the boxes in here have some sort of magical relic inside, which leads you to believe that these relics, depending on who has them, could make a fortune or use them
to power up some evil. We need to destroy this shit.
Well, I was thinking something could help us later on down the line fighting, but
the safety deposit box is also optimal.
Now, like
we just don't have a way to carry all of it.
There's a bunch that are different sizes. Like, there's some smaller ones you could potentially put.
We bought a wagon, didn't we?
Oh, that's true. We did bring a wagon.
Load that shit up. At this point, I don't trust them to have anything powerful. Look what they've done so far. We need to take everything they can use to their advantage.
He said, we got a wagon. Load that U-Haul up.
Exactly.
I mean, Iman's gonna want this shit out, right? I mean, it's not a terrible idea.
I mean, it's not. I mean, he's just more so worried about the one.
About the specific one, yeah.
These ones, but I mean, it's not a bad idea. But you have to realize that could eat up some of your time looking for this thing.
That's true.
I mean, some people. We can have 2 people stay in here to make sure no one escapes, and kind of create a little
split up.
Create a little pile. At least we'll know where the other 2 people are. They're right back where we came.
We have to come back here on our way out, so we could always grab stuff on our way out.
Yeah.
Right?
And then up in this corner where we already have a bulk of things, that's where we can kind of just place anything we find. And then everybody can grab 1 or 2 things on the way out if we're not being chased and bloody. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I say at the end of all this, we take what we can, but we focus on X420T. Which is suspiciously cryptic.
Right.
So
can you see in the containment things like at all? Like, can you see, like, is it see-through?
No, they're all.
Well, that's a bad system.
They're cardboard.
It's a terrible
boxes.
museum.
They're all. It's not a museum. They're all encased. They all have labels on them. So whoever labeled them had a specific coding system to understand what was what.
Well, I hate this system because I don't know what any of them do. And I wanted to take something.
Perhaps you're not supposed to be able to look into it. Isundra, have you not learned anything from Yome?
Well, what if something could help us fight it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to start just opening stuff, but
I mean, they're
it had
easily
a
open.
descriptor.
They're easily
Yeah,
open.
But then what if I touch something I shouldn't be touching?
Well, you're gonna learn the hard way. Find out. Fuck around, find out.
I know how Ryan plays. I open up one of these things, all of a sudden I'm already minus my enhancements. I'm gonna open it up and Napoleon's ass gonna be in there taking something else away from me.
He's gonna be in there eating some mutton. Taking a shower in there. That's his house.
Alright. We'll leave it there.
All right. I mean, you're more than welcome to grab one of the smaller ones, put in your pocket if you'd like. There's a couple of ones the size of your hand that would fit in a pocket or two.
I don't know.
It's up to you. But while the two of you are making that decision, Alaric and Thaddeus, what are the two of you doing while they are in that room?
Thaddeus will be going down this hall here.
He's leading the charge.
Okay.
Wait for us, brother.
If you, this is so go move your character wherever you want. As Thaddeus walks down the hall, there is a flickering torch there as well that leads into a very dark corridor. But Thaddeus, you have dark vision, I believe, right?
Yes.
You can see further into that corridor. It is pitch black, but you know it leads deeper into the facility because this is the only other corridor or hallway you can take from the main room other than the stairs going back up to the entrance. Unless there's an extra room or hallway tied to the room that Isundra is in Damien, but you don't know. But to your understanding, that leads to deeper into the facility. Alaric, are you walking with Thaddeus by any chance?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm still in the main room. I'm actually I'm actually feeling more compelled to go check on Isundra and Damien in the room.
You don't trust us.
Okay.
I trust you guys. I just want to make sure that you guys have backup for anything that you guys may be discovering in
I don't
there.
know. I know how you play your evil character.
Look, Alaric is totally different. Alaric is a good cleric. Fortunato was, what was he? Was he chaotic evil? Kendall, I don't remember.
No, he's neutral evil.
Neutral
but
evil.
He's pretty villainous. So yeah,
Alaric,
don't play with Fortunato. So
Alaric is different. Okay.
They should heard too many stories now. She don't know what.
Right, she don't trust you, Kendall. You're the one that's leading them into the vampires too. Like, man, Kendall trying to get you all killed.
I know.
I'm sure you guys were wishing you were at that fucking vampire
Ball.
mission right now.
Oh.
So Alaric, as you go to meet up with Isundra and Damien, Yatari looks over at you. Alaric, are you going to go check up on Isundra and Damien? If that's the case, Yaito and I will stick with Thaddeus. That way we at least have 3 and 3.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Just try not to venture too far away from us, just in case.
Understood. And Yaito is going to nod. He's going to walk. Thaddeus, wait up. Do not go too far. And Yatari is going to come up close. Wait, hey, guys, wait a minute. Before we go any further, let me cast a spell. And Thaddeus, do you keep going or do you stop?
You better slow
Wait.
down.
He's stopping.
Okay.
Yeah, you better wait. We're still deciding if we're going to pickpocket some of this stuff.
So Yatari is going to cast a spell, and she casts at level 1. She has a special spell. I just called it Yatari Special Summon, where she summons her fire elemental to join the party. She does not trust going any further into this son of a bitch than she needs to. I'll put that on the map. She's got a fire elemental that appears out of the fire plane as the tear in the dimension opens, and this fire elemental crawls out of it. And then she looks over at Thaddeus and Yaito. Okay, I feel much safer now. Let's go. All right. So, real quick, as Thaddeus, you stop right there in front of the hallway. What are you thinking or doing at this point?
He's a bit worried. He's trying not to show it. He wants to hurry up and get this item and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair.
For all the times he's studied him, he's never actually came across the actual creatures. So yeah, he is a little bit on edge.
And I'll throw in some history here for the players and our audience. So Thaddeus, you being a paladin of Erdis, and particularly one that has worked with the Adventurers Guild, and because you rolled such a high history on understanding what the Sporylith are.
Yeah, before we begin with that, I did check back, like, with the history check that Rod made. He made a 9. Was there
Was
another
it a
history
9?
check before that?
I have no clue. Let me see.
Because I made a history check of 24, and then Damien made a 6, and then Thaddeus made a 9, unless there's another one earlier.
No, I thought it was advantage. I had it with advantage.
I remember you having advantage on it, but I don't know.
That's exactly what happened. I had advantage on it.
Oh yeah, so Rod wrote a 9 and a 23 with his advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
found him. Yeah, so Isundra had a 13. Kendall, you had a 24. Damien had a 6. And then Rod had a 9, but with advantage, he ended up getting the 23.
Okay.
Yep. So all three of you know the Sporylith except Damien. It's just Isundra doesn't know the history of them. With a 24 and a 23, I'd also say Alaric knows the history and has studied it at some point during his life, which would make sense with you being a cleric, especially one that follows Lunaris, because your mission being to hunt down any evil in the night. A Sporylith is one of the more deadly creatures that your faction of clerics have studied and know how to deal with if need be. So, so Alaric would know this too. But quick history for Thaddeus, because he is so terrified of what's to come. Thaddeus and Alaric, during your studies of the Sporylith, I mean, you obviously know what they are. Don't necessarily know where they come from. That is still a mystery of how they even appeared on the planet of Reverie. But as far as the continent of Tirister, where you are located, they originated from the island known as the Sanguine Isle. Now, for our listeners, we have a current Patreon campaign that's going on right now, which is basically the origin story of the Sporylith in the continent of Tirister. That Patreon is that campaign's almost done. We have an episode or 2 left of that. Once that campaign finishes, I will be releasing that Patreon campaign to our listeners outside of Patreon, just because I feel like that is a campaign that our listeners would love to hear, because it ties so heavily into the history of season 3. So that will be coming out in the near future. But the Sporylith, Thaddeus, that, as I mentioned, they originated on Sanguine Isle. And through what the history books have taught you, Sanguine Isle used to be a prison island where the nations of Dorwyn and Lande would send prisoners to in order to work mines. Sanguine Isle was a rugged and very deadly island due to the terrain. It was very difficult to inhabit that island. But they built a prison that had a 4-block system underneath the ground. Blocks A, B, C, and D were all beneath the prison, and each block was like a housing facility for the prisoners and guards. So they would mine those until their sentences were either up, or they would mine until they died. there was records found that in the deepest portions of the stockades, Block D, which was still under construction during the time, that there was an odd alien-like structure and facility that was found during the excavations and the construction of Block D. No one knows what was found in that alien structure. But ever since that alien structure was founded, odd stories took place due to the apparently to the notes that were found. The island was attacked by the Spirylith completely. And you know that there was an expedition team sent down to Block D to investigate what was happening. And within that team, there was a paladin of Armas by the name of Durand Bowers who led that team. And his name has kind of been long forgotten to most. He was one that never returned. And as a paladin, different god that he followed, but he followed the god of strength. But that story of him vanishing and never returning sits deep within you as you are now in Spirylith territory yourself, Thaddeus, because based off what you know, Durand was a pretty strong paladin. But the fact that they escaped this Sanguine Isle is shocking to you and many others. But because they were able to escape it, you do know that Spirylith do exist all throughout Tirister in small colonies. And whenever a colony is found, the governments of each nation will do what they can to wipe it out completely. Because the Spirylith are enemies to anything living. It doesn't matter if you're good or evil, they'll fuck you up. So it's kind of everyone agrees that they have to be killed, wiped out. But there's some history for you guys. A little bit of history on the campaign that we're currently running, where Kendall's character is just full booking it. So, Alaric, as you enter the room with the Isundra and Damien, do you say anything as you see them kind of looking at the boxes?
Yes. Have you guys found anything here? You guys need any help?
We didn't find the artifact, but we found other artifacts. We're trying to decide if we should take some with us.
Let me take a look here. So should I do an investigation check, or is it
sure
something more magical? I just want to make sure.
It depends. What do you want to sense for magic, or do you just want to look at what type of boxes? I mean, investigation will give you more of a physical layout of what you can see, whereas an arcana will give you more of a magical sense. 20 investigation. I mean, you rolled pretty high too. You look throughout the room. You do not spot the specific containment unit that you're looking for, but you do notice there is quite a bit of other relics in here. And Isundra rolling on our arcana, she could tell you that she senses magic as well if she wants to. But your understanding is, these are precious relics in this room that many people would love to have for themselves. But you don't spot anything out of the ordinary anyways.
Okay, so I guess I can just say, like, there's a lot of interesting artifacts here, but there unfortunately it looks like the item that we're looking for is not here. Perhaps we can come back to this room after we have found the artifact, given if we have enough time.
Yeah, I mean, it's too much shit to carry, but I just don't want them to have it, you know? But we got to come out this way to exit anyway. So depending on our condition and our mental state after seeing everything we're probably going to see, we'll see if it's a priority or not.
Isundra will grab a small one and put it in her pocket to make sure we at least get something out.
Damien jumps back. Hey, don't be touching that.
It's in the containment box still. It's fine.
Oh, shit.
Guys,
Right.
Felicia has not learned her lesson from season 2.
I didn't touch it. I put the containment box in my pocket.
The whole box.
Felicia's like, I'm gonna use this
You
bitch.
said there were some that were small enough to fit in your pocket.
Yeah, They're pocket bacon.
Maybe we whip it out later and throw it at something. I don't know. Either way, we get an artifact out, as long as I get out.
All right, so you go to pick up the small artifact. Do you look at the label at least on it?
Yeah.
On the label, it has RX-424.
Whatever that means.
You know, that can mean something in the future. But make note of that in your character sheet. RX-424. And while you guys are about to leave the room, I'm assuming.
Before I leave, during my investigation, do I notice if there's any other spaces around the room, or is it just this one room itself?
It's a very medium-sized room. It's covered head to toe with a bunch of these containment units. You don't notice any cracks or any other ways in or out of the room other than the area you came through.
Okay. Yep, I guess we're head out then.
All right. Well, while you guys are leaving, I need to go back to the other side. Thaddeus, are you just staring down that hallway as Yaito comes behind you? Thaddeus,
Yeah, he's just.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. Just.
It seems perhaps we must go through this dark corridor. I do not know if the others have found this relic yet. I'm feeling very uneasy about this.
To be honest, I am a bit uneasy myself. But we must trek on.
And as
Let's
you
get the
say
relic.
that, Thaddeus, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Kendall knows. Oh, you're not rot, so hopefully it's
Yeah,
not bad.
let's see if
Oh
okay.
no!
It's not great.
Oh! All right. Oh my God. Okay.
It happened again.
So, Thaddeus, as you're speaking with the Yaito and you're staring down that dark corridor, you rolled a 12 on your wisdom saving throw. Unfortunately, that was not high enough. I can't tell you what you needed, but you can hear whispers coming from the corridor. And that's where we'll end this episode of Taverns and Caverns. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another exciting episode of Taverns and Caverns. This is your Dungeon Master, HaphazardDM. You can find me on Twitter at HaphazardDM.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Bri. I play Damien/Desiree, and you can find me on Twitter at Blaze_NBK.
Hi, I'm Felicia, and I play Isundra. You can find me anywhere on the internet at daggertribal.
Hi, I'm Rod or Rodimus, playing Thaddeus. You can find me on Blue Sky at Rodimus83 or Twitter or X at Rodimus7901.
Hey, my name is Kendall, and I play Alaric Silverwind, and you can find me on Twitter at AirDashClubKen.
All right, thank you guys. Those are our players for Taverns and Caverns Season 3. And again, don't forget to check out the Taverns and Caverns Patreon. On our Patreon, you'll find exclusive monthly episodes that are strictly exclusive to our Patreon, as well as some additional content that you won't want to miss. So thanks again, everyone. Until next time on Taverns and Caverns.